How do you find calm in a world that's loudly and intentionally chaotic? In an age of anxiety, where do you turn for clarity? For those who have found their way to Stoicism, the answers are written in the stars. I first noticed this trend back in 2016. People started publicly identifying themselves as Stoics, or posting quotes from Stoic philosophers on social media. But these days, the ancient philosophy is everywhere. From Hollywood actors like Ryan Holiday and the late great Chadwick Boseman, to the NBA superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, famous faces aren't alone. Every day, more and more people are finding solace in the lessons of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus. In fact, just last month, a new study found that interest in Stoicism has reached a 21st century high, with searches for it skyrocketing by over 500%. So what makes Stoicism so popular now, and how can its timeless teachings help us navigate these turbulent times? Well, let's start at the beginning. Stoicism was founded around 300 BC by Zeno of Citium, a merchant from Greece who survived a shipwreck and ended up in Athens, penniless. He started his own school of philosophy, which attracted some of the most influential minds of its time, including Cleanthes and Chrysippus, who carried on Zeno's work after his death. Their ideas were simple but powerful. Life is inherently hard, so why not try to make the best of it no matter what happens? Why not focus on things we can control instead of those we can't? And why not treat others fairly and honestly even when they don't do the same to us? These principles attracted a devoted following, and Stoicism quickly became one of the dominant philosophies of the ancient world. But it didn't stop there. Stoicism continued to thrive throughout the Middle Ages and eventually made its way to the New World via the Mayflower in 1620. From there, it quietly influenced the Founding Fathers and the writing of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And today, people from all walks of life are rediscovering the wisdom of the ancients. So why are so many people turning to Stoicism today? Well, it's simple. It works. Let me explain. As humans, we naturally fear uncertainty and loss of control. We crave predictability and comfort because life is inherently unpredictable and uncomfortable. But Stoicism teaches us to embrace uncertainty and to find strength in our lack of control. It reminds us that the only thing we can truly control is our thoughts and actions. Everything else is up to fate. Once we accept this reality, we can begin to find peace in the midst of chaos. That's why Stoicism is often called a philosophy of resilience. It gives us the tools to deal with whatever life throws our way, whether it's a global pandemic, personal tragedy, or just another Tuesday morning commute. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to us that causes us to suffer. It's our interpretation of what happens. Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to choose how we respond to any situation. We can choose to see the negative, or we can choose to see the positive. We can choose to complain, or we can choose to be grateful. We can choose to be victims, or we can choose to be victors. The choice is ours. Another reason why Stoicism is so popular today is because it's a philosophy of authenticity. In an age of social media and political correctness, it can be difficult to know who to trust and what to believe. Stoicism reminds us to be true to ourselves and to speak our minds even when it's unpopular. It teaches us to be fearless in the face of adversity and to never compromise our values. This is why so many people are drawn to Stoicism. It gives us the courage to be ourselves in a world that often rewards conformity. Finally, Stoicism is popular today because it's a philosophy of action. In a world that seems to be spinning out of control, Stoicism gives us a sense of purpose and direction.
Yes.
It teaches us that we can make a difference in the world and that we have the power to create our own happiness. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Stoicism reminds us that we have the power to shape our thoughts and, in turn, shape our lives. This is why so many successful people are drawn to Stoicism. It gives us the motivation to pursue our goals and make our dreams a reality. Of course, like any philosophy, Stoicism is not without its critics. Some people say it's too rigid or too abstract. Others say it's elitist or out of touch. But the truth is that Stoicism is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, educated or uneducated, black, white, or Hispanic. The principles of Stoicism are universal and they apply to everyone. Let me give you an example. One of the most famous quotes from a Stoic philosopher is Marcus Aurelius's. "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This quote is often misinterpreted to mean that we should be perfect, or that we should never make mistakes. But that's not what Marcus Aurelius meant at all. He was simply saying that we should stop talking about what we were going to do and start doing it. We shouldn't waste any more time planning or strategizing or making excuses. We should just get up and do the work. That's what it means to be a good person. It doesn't mean being perfect. It just means trying our best. So if you're struggling to find motivation or direction in your life, Stoicism might be able to help. By following the lead of the ancient Greeks and Romans, you can find the strength and courage to be your best self no matter what life throws your way. You can find the motivation to pursue your goals and make your dreams a reality. You can find the authenticity to be true to yourself and speak your mind even when it's difficult. You can find the peace of mind that comes from knowing that you're living according to a higher calling. The popularity of Stoicism shows that there is a hunger in our culture for meaning and purpose. We want to be more than just consumers of mass media. We want to be active participants in our own lives and in the world around us. Stoicism gives us the tools to do just that. It gives us the strength to overcome obstacles, the courage to be ourselves, and the motivation to make a difference. So if you're feeling lost or discouraged or simply in need of some solid life advice, consider checking out some of the writings of the ancient Greek and Roman philosophers. You might be surprised at how relevant and helpful their wisdom is. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant barrage of notifications and distractions. But Stoicism teaches us to disconnect from the noise and focus on what truly matters. As Seneca said, all the things we hear and see and think about are not important unless they help us to be better human beings. Instead of letting technology control us, Stoicism teaches us to use it on our own terms. We can set boundaries around when, how we check our devices, and make sure that our online experiences are enriching and uplifting. We can also use technology to our advantage by curating our feeds with positive and inspiring content. Of course, disconnecting from the digital world doesn't mean ignoring current events or burying our heads in the sand. Stoicism teaches us to engage with the world around us and to be active citizens. But it also teaches us to be discerning about the information we consume and to be selective about the causes we support. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In other words, don't stoop to the level of those who are causing harm and destruction. Instead, focus on being a force for good in the world. This is why Stoicism is more than just a philosophy. It's a way of life. It's a set of principles that can guide us through the challenges of everyday life and help us to be the best versions of ourselves. Whether we're dealing with a personal setback or trying to make sense of a chaotic world, the lessons of the ancient Greek and Roman philosophers can provide us with the clarity and perspective we need to move forward with wisdom and grace. It's no wonder that Stoicism is having a moment right now. In an uncertain world, it offers a sense of stability and calm. In a polarized world, it offers a path to common ground. And in a distracted world, it offers a reminder of what truly matters. If you're looking for a philosophy to guide you through the challenges of modern life, Stoicism might be the answer.